And one thing I did find while I was cleaning up some old drawers full of switches and stuff is this Dick Smith blue LED, which I purchased. I think they came out at the end of 1992 and into early 1993. Catalogue number Z4005. This was the first blue LED I could buy locally. I think Jayco had one out around the same time that was a bit brighter than this one. It was, I think it was $3 something. I actually remember it being about $5, but it must have been, according to Electronics Australia, where I must have seen the advert, it was more like $3.25 or something, which was quite a bit back then for an LED. And it does a whole 3 millicandela. White diffuse lens, SIC blue at 470 nanometers. 3 millicandela, 23 degree viewing angle, so not much there either. Forward voltage 3 volts, 5 mil package. Luminous intensity is half the axonal luminous intensity, so yeah, not much of an angle, you lose half the brightness. Peak emission wavelength, so it probably is a bit wider wavelength than that. The tolerance of LTL 353 series is 15%, so you can't even trust what they tell you there anyway. But I actually kept it all this time. I think I only really powered it up at once or twice and got over the novelty of it, but this was quite a novel thing in the day. But yeah, it doesn't actually do a lot. It's the only problem. So I think I've got here 330 ohm resistor because it's got a higher voltage drop than normal red LED, which is, I think, was at 1.7 volts, and a green was 2.1 or something. So let's see if we've actually got a good battery here. And yeah, 9.3 volts, that's pretty good. And the big piece inside should be the cathode. Yeah, it's got a little flat there. And which side of these is the negative? I can never remember anymore. So get ready to be blinded by the amazing, brilliant blue light of this thing. And yeah, that's about it. Rather underwhelming. 3 millicandelas is very little. And yeah, as soon as you tilt it off angle a bit, you lose a bit of the brightness. Let's turn the light off there, and that is it. A rather weak blue LED. I'll see if I can get the focus on that. It's not even a nice deep blue, it's almost white. It does look a bit bluer than what the camera's seems to be picking up to me. Maybe I should turn the lights right off. But yeah, that's what you got for $3 back then. But that was the first blue LED I'd ever seen, basically. There was none in any commercial equipment at that time, I don't think. No white LEDs. I guess I should hook this up to a battery snap, would have been the smart thing to do. And yeah, off 9 volt battery, that's all you got. Virtually nothing. I think even that, did I throw that in the rubbish? That red LED I pulled out of that old power supply that I did up. There it is. I'll hook that up and see how that compares. I've got a 390 ohm resistor, because this was a rather weak LED. And so that's the brightness of that, which is pretty poor. Yeah, so that's a blue LED and that's a really weak red, which I think is still substantially brighter. Certainly is to the naked eye, but I think we are a bit blinded to blue. Yeah, so that red one I consider rubbish because it's so dim. That's not too bad in this light, admittedly, but that is, you know, like I say, probably a late 70s, might have been earlier. It's like the kind of ones Tandy used to put in packets and sell, and they were all kind of pretty junky ones. But alright, just for your kids to mess around with and stuff, but certainly not up there in the brightness stakes, but that's about it. A rather poor effort. Put some decent light back on, and yeah, they're visible, but that blue one you're definitely not going to take much notice. The red one's far brighter really in this light. But a bit of a novelty. It's probably the first time it's been fired up, so I don't know if they deteriorate, I guess they might, but first time it's been fired up since about 1993, I think. I don't think I touched it since. I was kind of shocked to find I still had it, though I did have a feeling it was lying around somewhere. And I even kept the paperwork for it. But yeah, that was, I guess, about a 30-year-old novelty now. But I might still hang on to it, I guess, just for the hell of it. Can't be too many of them left. But this other one can go back in the rubbish. And that's probably more like a 40-year-old LED, that one. So I'm kind of ashamed to chuck it out, but what do you do with them all? There's so many of them. Legs are all tarnished. I'm never going to use it for anything, so no point keeping it. But anyway, thanks for watching.